and then you're still going to have that issue.
Yeah, that's a good point because we still have kids together. We have excellent kids, and we're going to have to interact because of the children and react on in intimate ways. I mean, I know her better than anybody. She knows me better than anyone. There's things that come up that um, you have to work together on. Birthdays and Christmas and Halloween and
Mhm.
you know all those interactions are going to be potentially um, um, anxiety provoking for my partner.
Yeah.
And so I think that's that. Yeah, I think that you could say that the answer to the question you asked me a minute ago about what would I've done differently, one answer to that question could be don't date at all, you know, and just wait. But I can tell you it was selfish on my part, but I do feel like I'm getting older and I've already seen myself age a lot in the last 5 years. So I felt the pressure of time.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
We all do.
yep,
Yep. We all
yep.
do.
There's a clock ticking somewhere. There's sands in an hourglass that are
Mhm.
going down. And
But I don't think anyone would have an issue with normal, because, there are people that have to deal with coordinating things with their kids. I don't think your normal average, you know, acceptable amount of coordination. I don't see that anyone would have an issue with that. It's the added things, like some of the things
Well,
that you
I think
were
as long as she still is trying to get
right.
back with you, that's where
Right.
that's where the problematic
I don't think it's just
starts.
coordinating with your ex, because that's always a
Yeah.
normal thing for divorce
Mhm.
situations.
Mhm.
It's the added part of it, and like the conversation that your girlfriend heard, that kind of thing, I think would be the bigger issue.
I agree with you. I think that a lot of this will be different once my ex finds someone to date, and that by itself will ramp down the drama to a great extent. But I think the other thing is the passage of time, and I think the other thing is me managing this a little better in terms of boundaries. I never really thought too much about boundaries. I never, I had a very good relationship and still do with my first wife. It's not like we hang out, but I never had to think about that during that breakup. And when I met my current ex. So, you know, I mean, you live and you learn, right? But I think that I definitely could have managed this better. I should have been more intentional and thought it through, and I just didn't. And I've learned on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I can foresee trouble future with that kind of situation. Yeah, I don't
I
see
think we can empathize with your current girlfriend because when you get to our age, in our 50s, we kind of want to lock down what we're gonna what
Well,
we're
it's
gonna
just,
have
but
for
it's just knowing
yes,
what the
yes,
like the goals and what
hmm
are we doing here? Just
yes,
normal.
yes,
Anyone would want
yes,
to know that.
hmm
And
hmm
with that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I agree with you. You guys are absolutely right, and that's one of the things that I've really tried to get my get my mind around, to remember that, like with the woman that I've been seeing now, she's been divorced for 20 years, well, 18 years, so
mm.
she's been ready for a long time,
So
and
so she's definitely ready to lock it down. Yeah.
yeah, and we really do have that kind of connection. But unfortunately, when you have that kind of connection, and then that makes your feelings a little stronger, and or maybe a lot stronger, and then as a result, you're more sensitive to these sorts of interactions. It's
Mhm.
almost like I was fortunate enough to meet a terrific woman, and have a very nice introductory part to our relationship. But the downside of that is that, my drama is going to impact her and me and us a lot more than if we didn't have that connection.
Mhm.
So since the connection is the goal, like I said, maybe I should have thought this through a little bit. Like, if you get what you want, how is that going to work out? I mean, think this through. So I mean, I'm still managing it, and every day that goes by is one day closer to the day I get divorced, and one day closer to the time when my ex meets someone. But the challenge is keeping the current woman interested long enough for that to happen because she's getting fed up,
Well,
and totally understandable.
and to manage the boundaries, because I think if you do
Yeah,
that for her
yeah.
the right way, I think she will stay with it.
Because she's
Yeah.
there, and I would imagine, because you said that she's a smart woman, I think she's crossing her own boundaries by being with you in the first place.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering how you convinced her. And I'm not trying to be funny or anything, because
Well,
someone
no, Patricia, that's very perceptive of you to say that because actually last night she said almost those exact words to me.
yes,
Oh my
That
goodness.
yeah, it's remarkable that you suss that out, because she really did. She said to me that unfortunately her mother died, but she said to me, my mother would tell me to stop being with this man
Mhm.
because I'm worth more and I should never be subjected to this. And I don't deserve this. And, that's on you. It's not on me, but it is on me to be with you and choose to be with you under these circumstances. And so she was very analytical about it.
Mhm.
And of course I can't disagree with her. But in terms of the convincing, it wasn't really a lobbying effort. I've actually handled this exactly the opposite. Um, because I have this philosophy that it's always the woman who chooses, and I can't, nothing I do, is gonna, if somebody doesn't want to be with me, nothing I do is gonna make them want to be with me. And so all I can do is be my best self, you know, maximize the positive interactions that we have together, um, and hope that she sees the value in me and in us. And when she ended things, I told her, I'm heartbroken and I feel really sad and I'm sorry that I put you in this position because it wasn't something I knew it wasn't something she wanted to do. But I said to her, you're a terrific woman, and I guess I'll shake the hand of the guy who does get you because it's not going to be me apparently, and don't hesitate to reach out to me if you want anything, if you need anything, I'll be there. And I just handled it like that. I didn't beg her or plead or try to persuade or lobby. The only thing I said was in that regard was we're really good together, and I hope we can be together sometime. And that's how I left it. And then she contacted me again after a while. So this time around, when she's talking about her mother up in heaven giving her counsel,
Mhm.
I don't know how that's going to play out. But I've taken the same approach, which is to say, I understand and I can't disagree with what you're saying. And I'm sure that was painful. And I tried to reassure her as much as possible that I was all in with her. I'm not seeing anybody else. I'm not a philanderer, and I'm not somebody that can date more than one person at a time. I'm not even communicating with anybody else, and I just told her, when we decided to start seeing each other again, we discussed this exact thing, and we came up with a protocol for what to do if she starts to feel that raw, insecurity and the sharpness of those feelings. And what I said to her was, when that happens, you go away, just walk away. You tell me you need time, and then when you're ready, then we can talk again. But you don't have to be shy about. I'm not going to take it personally if you tell me this is too much. And that's effectively what happened last night. We sort of use that protocol to let her step away without some major breakup, right? Just let her step away, let her get her bearings. And, I mean, I'm just a regular dude, right? I'm not some great catch. I don't think, so there's nothing that I can do to persuade her, in terms of, convincing her, because I am who I am, it's like Popeye. I am what I am, right? I mean, I am, that's the essence of me is you guys are getting it right now. And I'm communicative, and I try to keep myself in good shape, and I've tried to be good with my money, and I've tried to, you know, um, raise my boys the right way, and I have my home, and my career, and trying to be healthy, and you know I have a sense of humor, hopefully, and I'm smart. But at the end of the day, I'm probably kind of nerdy. I'm kind of like a big fat weirdo. So in a lot of ways, I mean, I read time travel novels. I'm not conventional, and so I feel like if it's right, then me being me, for better or for worse, is the only way that I can convince someone, if you want to use that word, to be with me. They're either going to see the charm in me and see the value in me, or they're not. And the only thing I can do is be me. And that's what I did. I mean, honestly, that's almost precisely what I did. I told her, you know, um, I understood how she felt. I didn't react negatively at all, and held out hope. And then when she contacted me again, we worked out this protocol, and hopefully the protocol will work. We'll see. That's to be determined. But but that's what I've done. And we have had some nice times together. We've gone to jazz shows, and we've gone to a football game, and we've had some nice dinners, and I made her dinner, and we've had some, we work out together a few times. I mean, we've worked together where we both worked side by side on our own stuff, and we've just had, nice interactions, and that's what you have. That's how I feel like this is the right lady for me, because we've been able to have those interactions, so soon, after only a few months. But time will tell, and I feel like God has a plan for me, and He's not done with me yet. Even though He's making my knees hurt, I'm not happy with Him about that, but that's okay. I am getting older, so we'll
Well,
see how it plays out.
it sounds like you do have a really good connection with her, and we certainly hope that it does work out for you. And I think that it sounds like you do have kind of a plan in how to, mitigate this as best as you can, I'm going to say.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that her primary, well, I guess just going by myself, and my perception of the situation is that she just wants to be prioritized, and if she doesn't feel that she is, then, that's going to be where, is, I guess that's where the waters get muddy, and it does sound like Annalie was saying, that you do have a good connection.
Mhm.
And you said that, and apparently she
I
is
mean, who
okay with
else?
you and how you are. Obviously,
The
you
time
would want to
travel
be
novels, who does
right.
that?
So that sounds like
What?
someone that you definitely found, that one that I always say, you're
Yes,
looking for
and you
the
know what?
one, but she just
It's
needs to be prioritized.
and
She
it's
needs
hard to
feel that
find
way.
that person. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say. So I would really
she
do.
needs to feel prioritized.
You should
That's
probably
it.
do your best to hold on to that as best as you can, because it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. I think that she does want to feel prioritized. I also think she feels very threatened, which is totally understandable, and I would feel threatened as well in her shoes. And I have been as reassuring as a man can be, while still maintaining some shred of credibility. That
Word, the actions.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
But yeah, but it's good though. Good that you
yeah,
found, someone that you really connect with, because they're few and far between.
yeah,
Yes.
yes. And thank you for talking to us tonight. I think we could talk about this forever, but we don't want to keep you all night. So, okay.
Okay, so thank you, Zach, for joining us. You are our very first guest. We're gonna say guest.
Yes.
And we really appreciate it. And this was very
Yeah.
fun. I like it. I think we're gonna do more
Yes.
of this.
yes, yes. It was a pleasure, you guys. Thanks for having me on, and I'll be listening. I really enjoy your show. I appreciate what you guys are doing for all of us in this circumstance in life.
And we do appreciate you being candid and
Yes.
being transparent. you know, and exposing, you know, I don't want to say it, well, maybe not exposing, by sharing your, you know, these are personal things, you know, and you did a very good job of that, you know. So
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you for that. And we definitely wish you well on your journey.
Yes.
And likewise.
I love to see, and I'm partial to women. So I love to see women win. So, and like, wishing you would win. So we're rooting for you. So
Yep.
Well, that's nice. Thank you guys. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you all for tuning in.
yeah.
And we are on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook,
Yes.
Twitter,
TikTok,
and Instagram. And thank you for listening today. And
yeah, and
don't forget to live,
laugh,
and connect. Till next time.
Oh, we can.
Nope.
Everything's just wrong.
Till next time. Bye.